Hello everyone, my name is Zenitsu, and I'm back with another Digimon spoilers video. So, over the past week, we got a couple of spoilers. It seemed like it was a pretty light week in terms of spoilers, so let's just go over what we got. So, first off, we got a couple of the effects on some of the tamers that we didn't know the effects for. So, starting from the top, we have Zoe. So, they are all going to be following the same pattern that we saw with Tommy and we saw with Takuya, where they're going to be 3 costs to play. They're going to have the security ability on the top half of the card and an inheritable ability on the lower half of the card. So the ability that Zoe has, which she is in yellow, is she has the security ability, so she could be played for free when she's checked in the security, and she has an on-play ability where you could search your security stack for 1 card with hybrid or 10 warriors in its trait, and then reveal it, then add it to your hand. Then if you added that card to your hand, then you get to recover 1. So this is just your usual if you digged through your security type of ability that we've seen them use a couple of times before in TK and Glidamon. So Zoe is just looking to fill that same type of a role, and she has a nice inheritable ability where during the opponent's turn, all of your security Digimon get plus 3000 DP. So she's just interacting with the security in a very classic yellow way, where she's just DP boosting and searching through the security. Next up, we have Koji. So Koji is going to be doing basically the exact same things as Takuya, except instead of red, he's going to be in blue, and he's going to interact with all his line. So what he's doing is he has the security ability where he gets to be played for free, and then he has the nice main ability where once per turn, we get to place 5 cards with hybrid in their trait from our hand underneath this tamer in any order to digivolve them into Magna Garurumon from our hand for its Digivolution cost, as if this tamer was a level 5 blue Digimon. So again, just doing something very similar to what Takuya is doing, except for Magna Garurumon, and then he has the inheritable ability where during your turn, once per turn, when an effect adds a card to your hand, then we get to gain 1 memory, then this Digimon can't be blocked for the turn. So this is looking to be a pretty decent ability just because it's making him unblockable, which is always pretty good, ensuring that you're going to be getting the damage through, and you're going to be gaining a memory, all for adding cards to your hand. So that's just looking to be a very powerful ability to be playing around with, and it can be utilized in some very interesting ways, all depending on what the other cards you're going to be putting underneath him are, and the other cards that you're going to be utilizing in the deck. Next, we have JP. So what he's doing is, again, he has the security ability where he gets to be played for free, and then he has the nice ability where during your turn, when this tamer digivolves into a green Digimon, you get to reduce the memory cost of that Digivolution by 1. So he's just doing your very classic green thing where he's just making green's evolutions very efficient. The big thing to note is we also do have an Arbormon that this could interact with. So there is just a little bit of depth to what green has with hybrids based on what we currently have already and what we're going to be expecting them to get in the set. And then on top of that, he has the very powerful inheritable ability of Piercing. So this is actually very huge for green as a whole, just because Piercing is just a very powerful ability where when it does battle with an opponent's Digimon and yours survives, then you're going to be able to do a security check, and basically having a equivalent of a level 3 with Piercing is just very, very powerful because we could put that on a lot of high-level Digimon that didn't have it before, and it makes them that much more viable just because of the Piercing ability. And then the last tamer on this list is going to be Koichi. So Koichi is looking to be a rather bland one compared to all of the others for purple. So he has, again, the security ability where he can be played for free from your security if he's checked. And then he has the on-play ability of drawing 1 and discarding 1. This is just a very classic purple thing to do. They've been doing this basically since purple came out, where the whole idea is just trying to draw cards to try to dig through your deck faster and discarding cards to fill up your trash, so that way you could selectively put cards in your trash, setting it up for whatever you need it to be doing. And then he has the nice inheritable ability of on delete gain 1 memory. So this is a little bit less exciting compared to a lot of the others, but gaining 1 memory on delete is still very decent. And he could be playing around with a whole bunch of different strategies just because he synergizes with On Delete and he synergizes with Discard, which those are the two big prominent strategies that Purple's been playing around with. So even though he is a little bit more blah compared to the others, it's still a very powerful card to be thinking about interacting with, all depending on what the rest of his support is going to be looking like. Next, we have a new version of Aldeman. So this Aldeman is looking to be pretty good, and stat-wise, it's very comparable to the last time we saw Aldeman. He's just a red level 5 that evos for 3 off of red level 4s, and hard plays for 8, and has 8,000 DP. But what makes this card really good is the fact that he has 2 native abilities to him. His first one is when your Digimon that has a Tamer in its Digivolution source would Digivolve into this card, then you get to reduce the Digivolution cost by 2. So it's basically saying that when you Digivolved off of a Tamer, you get to reduce its evolution cost by 2, which is really good considering we want to Digivolve on top of our Tamers in the set, so that way we could gain some extra bonuses and benefits because Tamers this time around do have inheritable abilities, and Digivolving into a level 5 for 1 is just really, really powerful, just because it's very tempo efficient, and on top of that, he even has his own ability where it's a when Digivolving ability. If this Digimon has a Digimon card with hybrid in its form, in its Digivolution source, then this Digimon gains plus 4,000 DP until the end of the turn. So that'll just make him a 12,000 DP, which is a little bit stronger than the 11,000 he was natively. The only difference is he doesn't naturally have the security attack plus 1, but evoing for 1 is definitely worth that trade up. And then on top of all of that, he even has an inheritable ability where during your turn, while this Digimon has hybrid in its form or 10 Holy Warriors in its type, then option cards that are checked up from this Digimon don't activate their security effects. So this is just another card that's hating on options that are in the security, so that way you could try to safely aggress onto the opponent's security without worrying about them utilizing any of their options. And that's really powerful because a lot of the options in their security that a lot of people will be playing are going to be removal type cards, so ensuring that your Digimon are going to live through the security checks, especially since Red can just by default stack on lots of security checks, just makes this a really powerful card to be utilizing, ensuring that your attacks are going to be as safe as they possibly can because of just how Red likes to play. And then the last card that we got shown over the past week is going to be Emperor Greymon. So Emperor Greymon, stat-wise, isn't really doing anything too special. He is a red level 6, evos for 4, hard plays for 12, and has 12,000 DP, but he does have the nice when Digivolving ability of Blitz. So the ability to attack even when you Digivolve into him when the memory passes over onto the opponent is just very, very powerful, and on top of which, he also has another ability where during your turn, once per turn, when this Digimon is blocked, unsuspend this Digimon and gain 1 memory for each Digimon with hybrid in its form in its Digivolution source. So that's just a really powerful ability because Red doesn't like to be blocked, and the fact that you basically get to eat their blocker, unsuspend this Digimon to attack again, and you gain a butt ton of memory just make this very, very powerful on top of anything else that the card could be doing, because we also could line up some very powerful plays thanks to Takuya being able to just Digivolve right from our Tamer onto him, as long as we have the cards required to activate the ability to actually Digivolve from Takuya into him. But even if we build up into him, just the Blitz ability alone just makes this card very, very powerful, and I'm really excited to see where they go with the rest of the set and the rest of the line, considering we could probably guess that there's going to be a new Agunimon, and we could probably guess that there's going to be a new Flamemon, but we still have lots of hybrids that we could think about utilizing this ability with regardless, just because of all of the stuff we currently have. So that's all I really have for this video. As always, feel free to tell me your thoughts down in the comments below, and down in the description below are a couple of different ways you could support me and the channel. So I do have a TCG Player affiliate link, so when you use that link to buy cards off of TCG Player, then some of that money will go to supporting me and the channel. I also do make and sell playmats over on Overcard Gamers on Facebook, so when you buy a playmat with my design, then some of that money will also go to help supporting me and the channel. And on top of all of that, I do have a Twitch account over on twitch.tv/Zenitsu, so giving me a follow and a subscription also helps support me there, and I do play Digimon on top of various other games on that platform as well. So thank you everyone for watching, and as always, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more content, and I'll see you in the next video.